Welcome to another episode of Core Conversations, where our goal is to help you fuel, use, and rest your bodies in ways that unlock its innate abilities for physical and mental health. My name is Robbie Harmon, and today we have Kim Stoddard, who has been with us before a couple of times. And we're excited about today because we are just now starting to talk more openly and more completely about this project that we've referenced. And that is
it's so close.
So close.
It's almost here.
And that's the launch of Core7, this nutritional product that is more than a nutritional product. It's kind of an accidental story, stumbling upon this business that we're creating with the Core7. And today we want to talk about some of the things that really are a result of, that are going to be part of the Core7 ecosystem, but they're really stemming from some of the things that we've done as a business before this. So before we launch into that, we'll just say welcome to Kim. If you haven't met Kim before, Kim is a member of our team at Ampelis. She leads our efforts in creating content and helping with creation of products like this, taking ideas, turning them into products that people can actually engage with, rather than just ideas that are interesting, but you don't know what to do with them. And that's something that Kim has developed some expertise with. She's been trained and done certification work in positive psychology as a positive psychology coach. She's also a mindfulness and meditation instructor, and just a wealth of knowledge and resources in the real work of helping people make changes to improve their lives. So welcome, Kim, and thank you for driving from Idaho to be here.
Yes, of course. Always a joy.
Even at the sake of a garage door. Oh, there may or may not have been a car meets a garage door accident today.
And I wish I could say it was my first.
Oh no. That's no fun.
Yeah. So it's just, all in the life of a mom, and it's all good. It's just things, right?
Well, it was already a good story.
I keep reminding my husband that it's just things.
They're
Garages are just things.
Yeah, they're just material things. See, it was already a good story, but the fact that it's happened before is an even better story.
Dang it. We do not want to talk about my driving record, actually. That would take the whole podcast. So let's jump into something else.
So this product has been a long time coming, and we are going to launch on November 12th with a launch event, and pretty immediately thereafter. So probably that day it will be available to start shipping to people. And we've, in a prior episode, just started to now divulge the substance of what's in this. And today we're going to talk more about the ecosystem surrounding it, because our goal with this has never been to we didn't start out saying we want to be a supplement company, we want to sell supplements. Quite the opposite. We've been a healthcare service provider in the addiction recovery space, and coaching clients, working with companies, now with outpatient depression and anxiety treatment clinics. And our goal has always been to help people make changes, to cultivate a deeper sense of meaning and purpose in their life. And how do you do that? Because there's lots of self-help stuff, but how do you practically do that work? And how can we support them in that? And those things led to us saying there's a gap. There's no products out there that check all of the boxes that we want them to check in terms of simplicity and doing the things that we know will help people physically. And so once people get that, that's just the first part of the story, because part of change, right, and health mentally and physically is also behavioral.
Totally.
So that's setting the stage for what we're going to talk about, is what are we doing to help people that participate, that purchase this nutritional product, to actually have support in making some of these behavioral changes. And we've intentionally wanted to surround this product with all these things to help people. But before we get into that, I wanted to say that's what we're going to talk about. I do want to talk about your life for a minute, because you're coming off of the heels.
No more garage,
no more accidents. We're not going to talk about that anymore. But you're coming off of a very busy time of life up in Idaho, where you and your family operate a large potato farm.
Yep, we're potato farmers.
So tell us about that. What the last couple of weeks have been like for you guys, and what life looks like during that period of time.
Honestly, I am so full of gratitude. This year's harvest was beautiful. We didn't have any weather delays, which never happens. No wrecks or crashes until I hit the garage. Like, that's amazing. And it was a really great harvest. It was a really great harvest. We feel really blessed, really blessed.
It is interesting talking to you about it, because you realize that as I wish we had the same mindset in other parts of life, it's like we're dependent on God and the weather and
Completely.
what is going to happen for, this business to thrive or not. And it's that complete dependency that is such a healthy mindset that I feel like maybe we miss in other parts of our life.
Yeah.
So
It is farming is, it's a lot of lessons learned, like so many lessons learned, life lessons learned, but it is, I think, I just love seeing our whole community work together. We get 2 weeks off of school. So all the kids, like a lot of the teachers and community members come and help the farmers literally bring in the harvest. And it is, you just have this amazing experience working hard with the people that you live with. And I, of course, love seeing my kids really work hard, do really boring and dirty and tedious things for 2 whole weeks. It's just really, really healthy for them. So it's fun. And we did also get to have the Core7 video team come and do, they captured, some of the elements
we
of
wanted
harvest.
to capture some video of this for promotional reasons of this product, but and there were some intentional reasons why. But tell us what that was like, and maybe why that was such a perfect case study of why this product matters to the world.
Oh, it was really, I mean, when you're in it, you don't really appreciate the elements of like, this is hard work. Like, where else would my kids get to do this kind of work in anywhere else, in the world? And then just the element of like just being in nature and just, seeing the dirt on the potatoes and millions and millions of pounds of potatoes, and it's just cool. And so it was fun to have them experience that, talking about real food grown from the earth, which is all of Core7. I have to say, there was part of one of the clips where we have all these beautiful ingredients and all these different bowls and things laid out on the counter to kind of represent all of the food that's in Core7. And my youngest, because we had like eggs for selenium, and we had lion's mane, and we had all these beautiful fruits and vegetables, and my kids were there and they were like, all of that is in Core. I'm like, this is Core7. Like, this is only a little part of what's in it. And Kate picked up the lion's mane. She's like, what is this? She's like, this is weird cauliflower. I'm like, that's actually called lion's mane. She's like, what is it? I'm like, it's kind of like a mushroom. And she was like, I'm drinking that every day. Oh. But like, they had that element, but it was also like, wow, like that's so cool that all of this is in what my mom's having me drink every morning, like it was, I think that was a really cool experience for them to be like, this is really cool. This is really neat. And
I love seeing, we're now just seeing the rough cut footage of what this amazing film crew is able to capture. And this, not just the story of this product, but the story of your family a little bit, just seeing some of the footage of your family and harvest and how busy it is. And that is one of the things I loved about what we're trying to do. Is it's really hard. And especially that's like a magnified intensity of like just busyness, but it's really hard in the busyness of life to do what we know we should do with nutrition and health, and finding things or creating things that make that easier in moments like that is just kind of what we're trying to do. So it was a perfect setting and fun to see the footage and fun to see the busyness of your harvest season. And yeah, that was fun.
It is. It is a game changer. Like, to think of all of those fruits and vegetables and more things that we didn't have on the table. Like, I as a mom, it's just the best feeling knowing that they're getting that to start their day. And I mean, sometimes they have a long day waking up at they have to go to sports practice before. They go to sports practice, they come home, they change their clothes, they go to work, they pack their lunches, they're out and working all day long. And it's just so great to know that that's what they started with. And even though they're going to probably be exhausted and not have much energy and their immune system could be down and drained, they're still getting a lot of the nutrients that they need. And so for me, it's like a no-brainer. Like it's the best thing nutritionally ever.
So what are you most excited about? We've been working on this for a long time. Started out, as we've said in times past, not even intending to create something. We were just looking for stuff to recommend to patients.
Yep.
Because we've seen in other work how important nutrition is and supplementation, how effective it was at helping people with energy and manage cravings for substances and other things. So we said we got to find something that simplifies that for people. Couldn't find something that had the breadth, the depth, or the quality. And so we've created it, and it's now been over a year. We've been working on it, and it's right here about to launch. What are you most excited about?
The people. Honestly, I am so excited to get this in the hands of the people that I love, but everyone who needs it. I had a friend message me last night and was like, Kim, what can you like help me with my workouts? And I just need help. And it was so wonderful to be like, hey, go subscribe to Core and you can get into Tana's workshop. It's free if you're a subscriber. And she already tried the first version, so she was already in love with the drink. So she subscribed, and it's like, I love this. Has completely transformed my life, this ecosystem of mindfulness and nutrition and Core7. And I cannot wait to be able to be like, here, this is what you need.
The world.
This is what you need. So
Yes.
I'm excited to see how it changes people's lives, because it has been that way for me and my family.
Me too. You know, you work so hard on something and do it with the right intent, because not about making money, even though that would be a nice byproduct of success, you know, and helping people make change. But you work so hard on something with the intent of trying to help people.
Yep.
And create something that will really do that, and that fills a gap that is out there in the world. And I'm not just talking about the product, but what we'll talk about today in terms of accessible, trusted resources to help people navigate change and to overcome inertia in different parts of their life that will bless them and their families. So
Yep.
I'm like you. I'm excited to just get it out there, get it out of our little team and all the work that we do with trying to figure out the IT systems and all the things that we do, and just make it available to the world and give people service and help.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the fact that we didn't set out to do this. We have learned a lot in the last 6 or 7 years, right? Of important lessons in helping people in the complexity of life, real life, with real relationships and real stresses at work and in family and real healthcare challenges, how to help people make change in all of those areas. And from all of that, we've tried over the last handful of years to constantly develop some product offerings and things that make those lessons learned available and productized for people, which is a role you've played for the company. So let's start by going now into this ecosystem, and first, big picture, describing when we say we're going to make available this ecosystem to Core7 subscribers. Let's just describe all that will be included in that, maybe, and then we go down one by one and talk about some of those unique elements and what lessons have been learned behind why they are the way they are.
Yeah. I have to also say, as you were talking, Robbie is the president of Ampelis, and I've worked with a lot of people, but I've never seen someone so focused on the individual and the individual changing, having lasting change. As we've sit around, as we've made discussion and decisions on which way our company should go, you've always come back to that one person and changing, making real change, lasting change. And we could have done this a billion other ways.
It would have been easier.
It would have been much easier to do it. But Robbie never let us take the easy route, because he cared so much about the person, and he would make whatever sacrifices needed to be made to have real people make real lasting change. And that's something that I am so proud of, to be a member of this team, but I'm also really proud of what we're creating, what we've created for this community. And so I'm excited to talk about it.
Me too. Well, can I just say, because thank you. That's very, very nice. And it's not it's all of us. Like that's what's unique about what we're doing is, yeah, it's taken a long time to get to where we're trying to go because of that, because we haven't wanted to cut corners. And it's not me, it's like all of us. It's you,
It's
and
true.
it's Lon, and it's Justin, and it's Ken, and Jessica, and Tracy, and Steve, and Tana, and everybody, Mark, you name, go down the list, all of our different clinicians. Like
Yep,
we've really have assembled people, and there's been a filter, right? As we've
for
assembled
sure.
people and added to the team of making sure people share the same values and purpose. And because people, I think one of the lessons we learned um, in some of the work we've done with coaching is that I think people can sniff out pretty quickly if there's not a lot of like real intent and
Yeah.
love and
Yep.
desire to help them.
Yep.
I think they can sniff out that lack of authenticity.
Yep.
Anyway, you're
Totally.
kind to highlight that, and I just want to make sure it's said that it's a shared kind of purpose that we all have come together and rallied around.
Yeah. And I think that's what people are going to hear. Real people making real change. That is why we created the ecosystem. And you're going to see that in all of these touch points that we're going to talk about. So, um, do you want me to just dive into
Yeah,
like
let's
what those elements are first, like big picture,
yeah,
what they get?
let's give the whole picture of what is like what are if somebody subscribes to Core7, they're going to get access to what?
Yeah. Okay. So why an ecosystem? We talked about that because we want real people to create real change. And in the past, Ampelis has done that really, really well. And so we're taking elements of that and we've integrated it into this system. Because if you're taking Core7, you're going to have huge benefits. But if you're taking Core7 and you don't really know what else to eat for the rest of the day, and you're super stressed out, and you don't
You're
the
not
rest
going
of
to
you're not going to
sleep, and
sleep on
yeah.
time, then it's going to be a barrier to how well Core7 is going to work for you. So we've created the rest of that answer in this ecosystem of what you get to partake of. So the first thing that you get, which is so exciting, is our group coaching. So we have group coaching for nutrition and mindfulness. Tana's talked a lot about the group coaching and the experiences that people have had. Mindfulness is also a wonderful. I just got off of a session 4, which is mantras and affirmations with a group, and every single time I see a real person making real change, and it is so inspiring. So that's our group coaching. We'll go a little bit more into detail about that later. You also get masterclasses. So our group coaching is kind of this foundational basis of just the core of what you need to know in nutrition and mindfulness.
And there's 6 weeks. It's a 6-week series,
Yep.
each of them. You go through with a cohort, so they're
Mm-hmm.
live sessions.
Live sessions, you have an instructor, you have peers that you're learning with and working with, you have access to your instructor, but also the group communication as well. You have access to the app, so if you miss a class, you can go and watch it later, and we'll go into more detail on what that teaches, but that's that. So then we have, in addition to that kind of core information, we have masterclasses. And masterclasses is a little bit a deeper dive into something that was maybe covered a little bit in those group coaching sessions, but you're going deeper. So like in circadian rhythm, we talk a little bit about fasting. Well, there's also a masterclass on fasting that goes deeper dive into like the different ways that you can fast, the different times you can, like what is it actually doing in your body, things like that. So there's nutritional master classes and there's mindfulness master classes. You also have access to monthly drop-ins. So these calls happen once a month and they're shorter. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic. They're shorter. And they range lots of topics. It could be something about relationships. It could be nutrition. It could be mindfulness. It could be living a life of meaning. It could be how to use Core7 the best way. Like what's some different ways? You put it in a smoothie. You do this, best practices. So it's kind of you get a little flavor and a taste of all things Ampelis on the drop-in calls.
Which is kind of, as you said, it's kind of this broad spectrum of things, all designed to help people cultivate a deeper sense of meaning and purpose, live healthy physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So
Yep.
it might feel disconnected, but one of the lessons learned is that it's not disconnected. All those things are very much a part of health and related to each other.
Totally.
Okay.
So that's kind of, well, do you want to talk about the app?
Yeah. Well, we could just say, so as you do join these things, there is an app that will help you navigate, access to recordings and resources that are shared in the class and things like that. So yeah, subscribers will get access to that
and
app.
that's also how you can talk to your instructor and get help,
Right.
any kind of help that you need there.
So you can talk, which is an amazing perk, instead of having to pay hundreds of dollars to access these experts, you're going to be given free access to them for questions and answers and classes. And
Yep. So do we want to dive a little bit into why we did group coaching?
Let's do that now.
And what it feels like?
Yeah. Cause that's been an iterative process. We didn't start there.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. So tell us that story and some of the lessons learned that have led to this thing that now exists in the group coaching that you described.
So I actually was thinking as I was on the call today, there is one woman who has been taking these classes for 4 years. She was in the very first mindfulness class that I taught, and that Jessica and I taught, and she is still today showing up. And part of me is like, there's so many reasons why group coaching is special, and it's research backed. There's a reason that we were doing this. And number one is, you could buy a course online and you could get a lot of, I don't know if I would say the same information, but you would get a lot of great information. Like you could go get a masterclass subscription and take a nutrition course from someone, a world-renowned expert in nutrition. But there's a reason why our system works so well. And it's because of the way that we deliver our information. So we do these micro-learning or kind of chunking, and this is all, you can find so much research on why this is helpful. But basically, it's because we make you stop and we make you simmer in one concept before we allow you to jump into the next one.
I can't just go watch like 4 masterclasses and topics go jump. You make me sit with the topic for a while.
Exactly. And so we give you ample space to actually practice this concept that you've learned. So let's talk about, well, maybe in the mindfulness, our very first session is on awareness. And so we talk about why awareness of our emotions and our body and our thoughts is so important. And then we say, okay, now we want you to practice this. So we're going to give you some meditation. We're going to give you some journaling experience. But you're just going to do that this week. That's all you're going to do. You're just going to think about awareness. Or in nutrition, it's circadian rhythm. All you're going to do this week is think about, when am I eating? Is it when the sun's up or is it when the sun's down? When am I going to sleep? And so you get to think about and simmer on this one topic instead of saying, because if I am totally a binge learner. I'm going to watch all of the sessions and then I'm going to maybe take one thing that I might try to integrate into my life. And that you can time and time again, it just doesn't work that way. I mean, I even thought about my kids. How many times have I taught them the same lesson over and over and over again? And they maybe weren't ready for it the first time. And maybe they took a little bit of it the second time. And now I like my 18-year-old and I'm just amazed at her. But it's been from day one, these little lessons over and over and over and over and over. And that's really how this is structured so number one, micro-learning. We're going to give you a concept and we're going to let you practice it before we introduce another one. Number two is what I just talked about, repeated learning. So it's not just spaced, but it's also you have the opportunity to repeat this learning. Because you get to come back. As long as you're a subscriber, you can come back as many times for again. Free, as many times as you want.
Which normally people that have been doing these, I mean, at this point we've had hundreds of people sign up for these classes, and they pay between $275 to $350 for the 6-week series. And this is available for free for people who subscribe.
Yep. Yeah. As long as you're a subscriber, as many times as you want.
Right.
And that's what honestly feels like some of these mindfulness women feel like family. Like when their name pops up on the Zoom, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see how this went or that went, because we've known them for years, and that's what really the true testament of like they're spending an hour with us each week, and they still, even though she's taken the class probably 6 times, she's still coming back and still learning more. Like, right? Like it's so good.
Yeah,
it's
what a
so
testament
good
to the value of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And practice.
Yeah. And it's so fun to see her like mentor almost some of the new members of class, and like for her to be able to share her experience of like how when I first took this, I just didn't even understand it and it was totally over my head, but now I've seen how this has grown and learned. And so it's like these newer people are like, oh, okay, I don't have to change everything right now. I have time. I can just pick one thing and I can practice that. And maybe in 2 years, then I'll be to that space, like it's just so hopeful. So number 1, chunking, micro learning. Number 2, repeated spaced learning. And then number 3 is that people change together. People need people. So when I push play and this instructor is teaching me things, but they have no clue who I am and they don't know whether I'm watching or not. And it actually, there's research that shows that that's actually, it increases stress because you feel like it's all on you.
Oh, interesting.
And whereas if you do this kind of group coaching, there's like an ease into learning instead of that stressful, like, oh, am I going to have to take a test, or like, how am I going to learn all this, or should I be taking notes? When you have real people with you, surrounding you, supporting you, it's almost like you can breathe and you're like, oh, I'm just excited to see what I'm going to learn
this community
today.
And there's good people and it's less stressful. Interesting.
And of course, we know all the research on accountability, like real people showing up for real people. Or, when so-and-so asks me, in the chat, it's so fun to see people connect of like, hey, I tried this recipe today. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to try that. And then, oh, I tried it and it was so good. Right. Or, I used mindfulness with my son today and this is what I said. And then they're like, oh, I'm going to try that with my son today. There's so much growth and so much learning from each other, from the participants themselves, also the instructor being able to reach out to a real person to say like, I'm really struggling with this acceptance concept. Like I just fight this fear within me. And then me being able to say like, hey, that's totally normal. Let's try a few other things, So really, really great.
I'm so impressed with the work that you and Jessica and Tana and others who've been involved in designing these have done, because I do think it, when you get used to certain principles or ideas, they almost just, instead of using the words and like thinking intentionally, like I need to structure it this way, it just kind of happens because you've learned that truth and it's now just a part of how you think without having to think about it. I feel like that's kind of happened with you guys, is you've seen stuff that has worked. And rather than going back and saying, here's the research about why we need to do it this way, you've just known that this is how we need to do it. And it's when you take time to like think about it, it's all supported by all the research. And it's the other thing that I would maybe highlight as we talk about that. Did you see that? There's a little spider.
It's a spider.
You grab it.
Got it.
Garage door and a spider.
Done.
Killed one day.
I'm a farm girl. Not scared.
So the other thing though that I want to highlight is that we started out doing one-on-one coaching before we did the group model. And we had group therapy and stuff in our addiction recovery program that was worked really well. And we had that whole experience was designed around cohorts which is part of where we learned a lot of the lessons on community and working together, going through something together. But we found that individual coaching was very effective in helping people go through a process of change. But it was also inaccessible for so many people because it's expensive, and to get access to experts in different areas, it takes a lot of resources and not something that everybody can access. And so that was part of the genesis of the group coaching model, to say, let's see if we can get similar impact doing it as groups. And so that was one thing. And the other thing that you've highlighted, but I just wanted to emphasize that because we talked about it even again within the last week or so, and that is the difference between pre-recorded or asynchronous and then live interactions with real people. And both have a place, and both are great ways to learn things. But we found, and tell me if you disagree with this, but I think we found that you said real people helping make change really matters. But when somebody, instead of watching a video and not knowing the other person, knowing that they're not going to ask you a question, knowing that they're not developing some kind of care and concern for you, it's just different.
Mm-hmm.
And so we debated that even the other day, because it would be so much easier to just record these classes and put them out there online on an app or something and let people go through them. But we found that we feel strongly about making connections, real people, and creating that kind of both community, but also like a connection with a coach who you feel like you want to, not let down. And so there's a feeling, more of a feeling of accountability, encouragement when you do have that live model versus an asynchronous model that we just love. So
yeah, totally. I mean, for example, today Jessica was leading the discussion, and just in the very beginning, nobody was really on camera. And so she just invited, like, hey, like, tell us where you're from. And so then they like got off and responded. And it allowed almost that, just like, I see you, like, I want to know you.
Yeah.
Her invitation, which Jessica is such a master at seeing people.
Jessica happens, if you don't know, Jessica is my wife.
Yes.
And also, as we've mentioned her name, she's helped us develop and now leads the mindfulness courses.
Yes.
Group coaching.
Yes. And so after, just in the beginning, just kind of like, where are you from? Who are you? Every single one of those people I watched, and I know two of them in particular had not said anything this is lesson 4, and they hadn't yet voiced anything. And today every single one of them
spoke up.
And so I think that, and we all know that when you engage in your learning, when you voice what you're learning, when you regurgitate what you're feeling and what you're learning, that sends signals to your mind that this is important. And so you're going to then change. You're going to then use that learning and knowledge in your actions in the future. So you don't get that in a pre-recorded session. So there is, and I mean, we offer, they can go watch the recording, but we really support people in trying to get there to the live session, because it makes a difference.
Maybe one last comment for me, unless you have anything else to say on this, but it was kind of a retrospective model or framework that we created, looking at the things that you had done. You and Jessica, I think, really spearheaded the group coaching model with the mindfulness class, but reflecting on that progress and the traction that we were getting there with some people, as well as then thinking back about Ampelis recovery, our addiction recovery program, and the clinics. We conceived of this model so we could try to articulate to people who were engaging with us as a business the process of change. And we said, well, it starts with vision. Like, you need to have somebody help you, or need to on your own cultivate a vision that is moving to you. It's like inspiring. So that's number one step. And then second, you need to have some degree of self-awareness. Where do I stand relative to that aspirational vision that I have? And you guys do that in both of those things. You give them things that help them create vision in the group coaching. You also help them with some reflection and self-awareness type of work, so they can say, okay, this is where I want to be. Where am I today? What's going on in my life? Then next step is, I need to set appropriate goals and have plans to actually close the gap. And so that's to making it more concrete. Then I need encouragement and accountability to help me close the loop. And so the group coaching model really helps people on that journey of creating vision and creating self-awareness and gaining knowledge that precedes the creation of goals and plans that then have the support of a community and coaches that care about them, that are helping them create some sense of accountability and encouragement. So, I mean, I'm really proud of what you guys have done and what we're doing there to help people.
Yeah, me too.
So big perk of being a part of Core7 Ecosystem. Like, how cool is this? And I
You
think
get
it's
it
cool.
for free.
Yeah.
Like, it's just part of your subscription.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, everyone's always sold on Core7 as the product. And then when I tell them that they can come join the classes, they're like, what? Like, it's a no-brainer. Of course I'm going to be a subscriber. Yeah.
I think we sent out an email yesterday as we were talking.
Yeah.
We sent out an email. I think we got 3 more people to sign up for group coaching. I mean, they just see the value in it. So
Totally.
Cool part of this offering. And we're excited to give it to people.
Yep.
So how about the next one?
Masterclasses.
Yes.
So the masterclasses are really fun, especially for those people who have been in the group coaching maybe a couple times, and they're really starting to like grasp the knowledge. They've got their foundation. They're making progress, and this is really fun for them to get to just kind of deep dive into a specific realm of. And we've done fat loss. We've done nutrition around the holidays. That's the other fun thing about masterclasses and having them be live, is that we get to feel the pulse of our community and create for them. So we've seen a need for nutrition around adults and children with special needs. That's something that they're not getting the support that they need. And so in November, we're building a masterclass around that need. So this one is super fun and flexible and really speaks to like what our community needs in the moment. And that's what we create with our experts and our team. And it's, they're really fun, and always just incredibly done. So
yeah, I love that sense of responsiveness where you'll get people that are going through the group coaching, and your ability to discern some of the unique needs or interests of that group and the real people that are involved, and say, let's go deeper there. Like, we can do that. We have a format or mechanism for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that part of that.
Yep. And it's often maybe brought up, and then it's like, oh yeah, I need that too. Oh, I'm super interested in that. And it just cascades, and the community is always really excited about the master classes.
So the master classes, I think, are, at least in the going forward model, the people can still, without being a subscriber, they could still pay to access group coaching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The master classes, I think, going forward, are just going to be available to people that are subscribers.
Yeah.
Is that right? Because we used to have these collectives where people could have this long-term kind of access to things, but that's now converting into just the Core7 subscription.
Right. Yep.
So that will be a fun perk for this as well.
And yeah, people can still purchase, like if they wanted to join the group coaching, but we're not subscribers, they can pay the $354 for nutrition or the $250 for mindfulness, and they could join a cohort. So they would go through the 6 weeks. Amazing. But then they wouldn't continue unless they were subscribers. Yeah. And same with master classes. That continued access is just for subscribers.
Okay, so how does that differ from, you mentioned the monthly drop-ins. So we've got the group coaching, the master classes. Then how does the master classes, which are more these one-off responsive deep dives, how does that compare to what will happen in those monthly drop-ins that will be available to people?
Yeah. So, and I also should mention that the master classes are live. So it's the same format. People can join and ask questions. We always, on all of our group coaching and master classes, we leave time at the end, 10 to 15 minutes for Q&A. And that is super fun because it's like everyone learns, right? From really creative questions. So we always leave space for that. And so the difference between a masterclass and a monthly drop-in is that the masterclasses are definitely longer. more deep dive. The drop-in calls are kind of those like just a little taste. It will be effective. You'll learn something. You'll be able to take away something that you can implement and use and change in your life. But it's not as in depth, and the topics are created from our team, and it's kind of education on all of Ampelis.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot more broad.
Just kind of teasers.
Yeah. Little teasers. Yep.
But I'm excited about that too, because sometimes that's what people want. They like, I want something to keep me thinking about different topics of health. And it might just be the beginning of a path that somebody pursues to say, oh, I never thought about mindfulness. Maybe I should join a course, or maybe I should commence my gratitude journal or whatever else. But the idea is that we would just like a constant drip of good information to keep people encouraged and learning and thinking about health in new ways.
Yeah. And that's available to anyone who is part of our newsletter. So if you go to the website and you sign up to be part of the Ampelis newsletter, you'll get access to all of the drop-in calls.
I'm excited to get those started, to kick those off.
And those start next month.
All right.
Yeah.
How about anything else? Oh, the app. When you asked me about the app before, you were talking about the other app.
I was talking about the
I answered the question wrong.
That's okay, because they do get access. We have an Ampelis app.
Yeah.
And that is really awesome, because it just makes it so easy for people to access all of these calls and recordings and schedule and things like that, the Zoom links, all of that. So that's really helpful. But then we also have, why don't you talk about the other app?
So we in our clinics, we treat depression and anxiety, ADHD, other mental health issues, but we've worked really hard to try to be more of a functional medicine, or like take a nutritional psychiatry type of approach, where we're not just prescribing medication. And so we have implemented different educational modules where we help people with things like sleep and nutrition and exercise and positive thinking and positive psychology type practices. And we've created a much more comprehensive intake process that we go deep into different behavioral parts of people's lives that often get glossed over, or they get asked about, but then never revisited. And so we have really tried to say we can't say we care about all those things and all those things matter and just ask about them during an intake process, which is what often happens, unless we're providing support to help people make change. We can't say that we believe in it unless we're doing that. And so we have researched different things. We've tried different tools, coaching tools, and we recently discovered a really what we think is the best solution out there for helping people navigate the complexity of trying to change your diet and be more intentional with your shopping and your cooking and meal preparation for you and your family. And so we were introduced to it by our registered dietitian, and at the clinics, where we're having all of our patients that come into the clinics meet with a registered dietitian. If you have specific meal preferences, in other words, like different types of cuisine that you like, to different quantities that you want to eat, to different healthcare conditions you're trying to navigate, whether it's or you've got different dietary restrictions, like I'm a vegan or whatever, you can put all that information in. You can tell it about your family, how many people are in your family, which meals those people eat with you. You can say how many leftovers you want to have. So, how many meals will it use leftovers for? So that'll calculate that into your planning. It simplifies that whole meal planning process in a dramatic way. Huge. I mean, it helps you be intentional. That's such an overwhelming thing.
It is.
Right?
Especially when you're just barely beginning.
Yeah.
It can be extremely overwhelming. And to have this kind of support, and it just goes back to like really helping you make the actual changes, because sometimes the hardest part is creating a meal plan for your family that everyone will eat. As a mom, like, I have all of these ambitions, but how do I get everyone on board? It's really hard to think that through. Yeah. And even I love the macro counting and the nutritional counting, because for me, I had never done that before taking Tana's workshop, and that has probably been one of the biggest things that I've noticed to change in my body, is counting macros and just understanding what they should even be.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it as
Kind of
well.
like Core7, all in one.
Yeah, right there. Yep. It's a theme.
Yeah.
But even that part, that can be overwhelming too. It's like, I have
Yeah.
to keep track of what I ate. Are you kidding? But if you do follow a meal plan, it's as easy as saying, check, yes, we ate that one. So we just are excited to continue to assemble these tools that again make it easier for you to not just have a good, healthy nutritional product, but to make changes in your life that help you be healthier and feel better for life. So we're excited about it.
We are so excited about it. Like I just see amazing things coming because of this ecosystem. I mean, amazing things are coming because of Core7, and so many problems answered with the Core7. But this just expands it even further.
Do you have any other thoughts just on the relationship between like some of these lifestyle things and nutrition? Like, you know, how much, for example, I don't know if this is the right question. Can somebody really optimize their health if they're just, for example, taking a nutritional product and or how important is their spirituality or a mindfulness practice, and how do those things relate to your physical health? I don't know if you have any reflections on that. I don't even know if that's a good question, but
well, I mean, do you remember in Dr. Suzuki's so she did that, she's expert in mindfulness, and she talked about how when you go to eat a meal and you're stressed out, it's like adding over 100 calories just because of the emotional state that you're in when you're going to eat this food. We talk in mindfulness a bit about, mindful eating and things like that, but using your breath to calm yourself down before you take a meal, and all of the benefits that happen when you just slow down and eat, and when you engage breath before eating. It's incredible. I mean, everything we talk about, physical and mental health, but it's just health. Everything is connected. It's just one beautiful system. And that's why I love our ecosystem, is because when we're helping our physical health, our emotional health, our mental health also is improved. And likewise, when our mental health is improved, we're able to make better decisions for our physical health. Like there's just no separating them. It is one beautiful system. And we're trying to support the whole system, not just one piece of it.
I know when we were doing the addiction recovery work, we would talk about the biopsychosocial model, and then we added in, because we always approached it that way, but we talked about biopsychosocial spiritual and how all those things are connected. And as you said, it's like if I'm taking care of my nutrition, I can actually have an enhanced spiritual life. I'm able to be more present and have other things because I feel better. I'm not distracted by physical things. And same thing with mental health and spirituality, or mental health and physical health. They're all so connected.
Yeah.
Which makes me, again, further excited to say, here's this wonderful nutritional gap filler product, Core7, that is unlike anything that's out there. And to get the most out of that, here's this ecosystem that can help you.
And it's fun. Like
it's fun.
It's so fun to learn and to join, and to it creates where something that could be really overwhelming and stressful and like, how am I even going to do this? You put them into this Ampelis system. They jump into Tana's coaching. They're taking they're feeling that hope and that excitement and let's go. I really can change. That's what gets me so excited, is seeing people have that hope unlocked within them, to be like, this is not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I think also with the kids product, I think that when, as a mom, being engaged in these classes and continuously learning and being able to drip that information to my kids, and having my girls take Tana's teen course, teen nutrition, I mean, that's all part of the ecosystem. And we're going to be creating masterclasses for teens and doing some mindfulness with teens, and being able to have that resource, not just for myself, but for my family, is huge. All for what I would pay for one supplement,
Yeah.
It really is. It's good stuff.
It feels good to be the focus of our work because
Yeah.
it's such a good thing. Okay, so can we role play for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay, because you mentioned that sometimes people feel overwhelmed
Yeah.
by all these conversations. That's a
Right.
pretty common
Yeah.
thing because it's like, well, I got to change my diet and I have to sleep better and I have to exercise differently and more and I got to whatever. That
And I
can feel
gotta
overwhelming.
meditate and I
Yeah.
gotta breathe before I eat and I gotta.
So what do you say? You're talking to a friend. She's like, Kim, it's so cool what you do. Like, man, I know I need to be better, but like, it's just so overwhelming. My life is so busy right now. It's so hard. Like, what do you say to that person who's feeling overwhelmed?
I just got literally the text 2 nights ago of a friend who I, you know, I had seen her and she commented on, you look so great or whatever. And then a few days later I get a text like, what are you doing? Like,
Mm.
I have to know, or can you help me come up with a meal plan or a workout plan? I teach group fitness in my little town. And so, but, and it, I just talked with her and I was like, honestly, the first thing to do is to just subscribe
Hmm.
and just start taking Core7. Join whichever workshop seems fun right now, whichever one seems interesting to you right now. Jump in.
Hmm.
And please be patient with yourself.
Hmm.
And that's Ampelis. We've said it on this podcast before. Little by little, a little becomes a lot. And so that was my advice to her, was just start. Just start. Because the ecosystem is created in a way that it's not overwhelming. It feels fun and it feels inviting. And we remind people again and again, just pick one thing, just one little thing. That's all you need to do to start your journey of change. And so that's what I said, just subscribe. And she's going to join. Actually, tomorrow we start another nutrition. So she's going to join. And I cannot wait to see what happens.
Yeah, that's perfect. And I love you've often said, as we've talked about different themes or things we want to say in terms, you try to find little phrases and stuff that will stick with people. And you said go small,
Yeah.
which is, opposite. People usually say go big.
Go big or go home.
Yeah. But you started saying go small. Say what
small.
you've meant by that.
Yeah. And it really, it's how, go small in a lot of ways. So go small in the fact of, when you feel overwhelmed, what is that next little thing that you can do? Whether it's step outside and breathe some fresh air, or grab an apple instead of the bag of chips. Like, there's a plethora of things that you can do. Just pick one, just your very next small step. But also, reminding yourself that it is in the small daily actions where huge growth takes place. And just trust that. Just trusting that, like, you see on Instagram the before and afters, you see the house makeovers, you see like these huge, miraculous, dramatic, instant changes. That's not reality. I just love reminding people, like, you cannot grow a maple tree in a year. Like, things take time, and that's okay. Because as long as you're enjoying that process of little by little, nothing's going to stop you, and you're going to get where you want to be. But do it with some self-compassion, and some grace and some time. So,
well, how nice to have, because it is a thing. Like, if we show up for this, if anybody comes and buys this product, or they enter this ecosystem and think that within a week, like, my healthcare problems are going to be gone and my relationships will all be better, like, that's not real. Like, there are some things probably that people will experience pretty instantaneously to feel like an elevated mood, but the big picture healthcare type health and relational and physical changes, they just take time, and they're built upon, little steps, as you said. And so having some kind of ecosystem that helps you stay connected to that kind of thinking and movement in that direction is so helpful. So we're excited about that.
It is so helpful because oftentimes you'll take a class, you'll join a gym, you'll do something that you think this is it. Like this is going to change everything. And what happens in 2 months?
Yeah.
Right? And that's why we're kind of like this little, I don't want to call us mosquitoes, but like we're constantly like we're bees, we're little buzzers, but like we're constantly
Just
reminding you
reminders and
of like, hey,
encouraging
come
and
to this drop-in call. Hey, there's this master class on how mindfulness can ease your stress. Hey, our workshop starts next week. Like, and it like alleviates some of that pressure of like I have to do everything right now.
I have to figure out what to do, and that's overwhelming.
Yes, to say I have plenty of time for all the growth that I want to have happen. Ampelis isn't going anywhere. I'm a subscriber, so I'm gonna have access to all of this. So it's a very, like, of course, yes, you have to join and you have to get in and you have to start, but we're gonna be here for a really long time, and I'm excited about all of the things that are coming.
As you were saying, when I asked the question about people feeling overwhelmed, and you talked about the importance of just like take the first step, take the first little step. Somebody asked me the other day, they have a family member who's dealing with some addiction things, and they're like, what should I tell them? Like, where do they go? What do we do to help them? They don't want help. And it just got me thinking about lessons learned. What have we learned about helping people in that situation? And one of them was a phrase that one of our employees used to say, who had himself had an addiction journey. And he said, Monday never comes. And in other words, it's the weekend, and I'm gonna start on Monday. Like, I'm just gonna get through the weekend, and then I'll start on Monday. And he's like, let me just tell you, when it comes to this kind of change stuff, Monday never comes. And so it's this idea of I'm eventually going to get to sleep or nutrition or mindfulness practice, or I'm eventually going to get that nutritional thing that I know would be good for me and my family. But it's, man, like taking the first step and just overcoming inertia is often the hardest and sometimes the most important. Not sometimes, maybe it could be considered the most important step, because if you do it in the right way, it can just set in motion, especially if there's a supportive ecosystem. It just gets you in the game. And then so many other things will just naturally occur as you just stay in the game, and you'll be guided and encouraged. But taking that first step is so hard for so many people when it comes to change behavior with this stuff. So I love that you started there. I think that's a really important lesson. Something that I would encourage, because I genuinely, I know you do too. Actually, I don't say you probably do, but I know you do. I believe that if people engage with these principles that are taught in these workshops, and they go through these group coaching, not workshops, if they go through the group coaching experiences and they participate in masterclasses, and they take a minute to try to implement and experiment, and they're taking this nutritional product, I genuinely believe it will change their lives and their families. I really believe that.
I have no doubt it will change. It will change their lives for the better in more ways than, like, in the beginning they even thought possible.
Yeah.
Because I know, and it's fun to see kind of the cross-pollination between our mindfulness group and our nutrition group, because a lot of the people who have been there in mindfulness over and over again took nutrition, and now they're in both classes. And they're using these truths to create just a beautiful life. And I had one woman reach out to me a couple weeks ago, and she just said, I cannot believe where I am today from where I was when we very first started. My life was in shambles, financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. I didn't know how I was going to dig out of the situation that I was in. She's like, and to look at myself now, it's only been 2 years and I'm completely transformed. And it's emails like that and messages like that it's like, I can confidently tell you, if you start, you will change. If you have a desire inside of you, if you choose to make those changes and to continue to show up, you will change. It will happen.
And that fires me up. So as it goes with anything you create. There's so much that goes into the logistics and the details and the execution that just sometimes makes you want to pull your hair out.
Sending the wrong Zoom link.
But those things just make you want to pull your hair out. And then you get an email like that, or you have those reminders, and it's a noble work, and I'm grateful for it. And it's a work that I'll just say this, maybe as we conclude, there's so much that goes into this that is unseen, so much research behind these topics. There's so many years of training and reading and certifications that go into actually to create something that can impact somebody. How do you design an hour-long experience in an optimal way with the right topics done in the right sequence, with the right structure? There's a lot that has gone into that, and you've been right at the heart of that for years. And so to see it manifest itself now in ways that are helping people is really, really fun. And I can't wait for more and more people, as people subscribe to Core7, to have access to all of the good that exists.
Same. Makes me excited to be able to create more. And also, like, I'm even thinking about our referral program and the subscription model. Like, we really, like, I'm going back to it again. We care so much about people.
Yeah.
And when we were sitting around the table looking through finances, and it was like, this is a very expensive product to make because of the quality, the creation of this product. There's a reason nobody's done it.
Right.
And it's very expensive. And so we sat there and we thought, but I want my neighbor to have this. Like, I want everyone,
my family and my children,
yes, everyone to have access to this product. And so we did a lot of work coming up with a system to make it so that anyone could subscribe. Maybe, do you want to talk a little bit about the details of that?
Yeah, that was the goal, was saying we don't want this to be inaccessible for anybody. We don't want money to ever be the reason that somebody can't access something that we know is good for them.
Yep.
And so, we had people say, "Oh, this is like, maybe it's an MLM, like it's a direct marketing model." We're like, "No, we don't want to do that." Yeah. So, but we did say there's probably some lessons learned there. Like, we could create some win-win strategies that are. So we've created a referral program. So as a subscriber, you'll be given instructions on how to do this. But basically, if you refer somebody who also becomes a subscriber, so if I, Robbie, say to my friend Tom, I'll make up Tommy, who's helping us do the podcast. So Tommy, if I say to Tommy, hey, I'm using this great product and I love it, and you talk about it, and he's like, that sounds really interesting. You just have him click the link that is associated with your name. You'll be given a link. That person clicks it. All of a sudden, their subscription is tied to yours. Now, you're not going to get like a downline, that we don't have a downline, but you will get a discount. Anytime you've had somebody subscribe for the life of that other person's subscription, you're going to get a monthly discount on your subscription. And each person will get that you have subscribed will deliver a $7 discount on your product. And then when you get to your seventh,
they get $7 discount as well.
Yeah. They will get a $7 discount as well.
So it's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
Win-win-win.
Yeah, triple win. And then when you get to your number 7, Core 7, we're playing on 7 a lot, but you get to the 7th referral. So if you've referred 7 people who are active subscribers, you will get your product free for the duration of, as long as you have those 7 people subscribe. You never have to pay a cent for your product.
Yep.
It helps us because we're getting more, we're telling the world about this and distributing the product that way. And so we're getting some sales there, and we get less margin, of course, but we're okay with that. Our mission is to get it out, but it also helps you if it's a financial burden, helps make it more affordable for your family. Whether you refer 1 person or 7 people, or 14 people, you get two bags for free a month if you would like them. So that's it. We don't want finances to be a barrier for anybody to have access to this product.
Yep. And that was a lot of creativity around the table. We had to go through a lot of different models
and make sure that it's not gonna.
Yes, yeah. But I love what we fell upon, because it's so natural when you have something that you love so much and that's working for you, to want to spread it to all the people that you care about. So this is a really natural way to share the goodness and also be able to help your own finances as well. So we're super excited about that. And for those who want to sign up, as subscribers, they lock in that subscriber price
discount
as well.
Yep. Yeah. The subscribers get a $20 discount as opposed
Yep.
to a one-time purchase.
Yep. So the subscriber price is
$99 for the adult product, and for the kids, I think it's $89.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've tried to remove barriers and
Yep.
just say, you know what, it's good for us if you're a customer for a long time and you're being blessed by this, and consequently we have to spend less on marketing. Therefore, let's discount the product if you subscribe.
Yep.
You can cancel subscription at any time. It's so user-friendly. It almost seems unfair that it's so user-friendly.
Yeah.
But that's what we wanted to do.
Yep.
Okay.
Once again, we want real people to create real change. And every single thing that we talked about today is an effort to do just that.
Well, thank you for doing this. Thanks for being willing to be our first commercial, like the subject of our first Core7 commercial that we'll be releasing soon, of the you and your family up in Idaho.
Yeah.
For driving down to share some of these insights with people and to describe this ecosystem. And we're excited to share this as we get ready for launch. We hope that many of you can experience these things, and we look forward to questions. We look forward to suggestions and ideas. So please engage with us. If you do subscribe, use the promo code podcast to lock in a further discount beyond what the normal subscriber discount is. And we can't wait to share this with you early in November. So thanks, Kim, and thanks for listening. Please join us again.
You're going to love it. We can't wait.
Thank you.